everybody, it's your National, and I am going to share a Tammy tip with you today that has everything to do with everything in your business, and that is, what is a mental bath, and, excuse me, why do I need to take one? How will that help my Mary Kay business? Well, here you go. This is a mental bath calendar. Mental bath calendar. It says, I'm committed to having a positive mental attitude, okay? And you can print your copy of this calendar if you go to our website, which is nsdtammycrayk.com. nsdtammycrayk.com. On the main page, there's a menu along the right-hand side, and if you scroll down to where the education section is, you'll see mental bath listed there. When you click on that, it'll take you to a place to watch an older video that I recorded of what the mental bath is, and then it will also give you a spot to print your mental bath calendar. So, step one, print your mental bath calendar. Okay, I'm going to bring this in close so you can see, hopefully, that every single day it says booking, affirmation, training, and hotline. That's on every single day. You will also notice that the calendar is perpetual, meaning it doesn't have any numbers on it, okay? That's because you can start a mental bath calendar anytime you choose to. Today is July the 8th, okay? So that's when I'm recording this anyway. I don't know when you're watching it, but whatever the day is, you would go to that day. It's Monday. And then you would write in for today, you would write the 8th, and then you would just go through and number your calendar the rest of the way through, okay? And you could start it today. The goal is to complete all 4 steps, the booking, the affirmations, the training, and the hotline every single day. Now that being said, some of you choose not to work your business on Sundays, or you may just have a day of the week that you choose not to work, okay? So in that case, you would double up on the day before or after. So that's how that works. Now, let's begin with why. Why would it be important to take a mental bath? Well, same reason it's important to take a regular bath. That is to keep yourself clean. You see, these 6 inches between your ears, okay, is where your brain is stored. Your mind is stored. And if we don't keep that fresh and clean and positive, we will never be truly successful as entrepreneurs, because a big piece of being successful when you work for yourself, and really when you work for anybody, is emotional management. And that's what the mental bath provides. So in a nutshell, why should you take a mental bath every day? To keep your head in the right place and stay on top of frustration, discouragement, rejection, and anything good that goes on in that brain of ours, okay? And I came up with this mental bath many, many years ago, long before I was a national sales director, because I interviewed some of the most successful people in Mary Kay at the time, and they were people like Lisa Madsen, Gloria Mayfield Banks, Linda Tupin, Kathy Halou, and I found the common characteristics to be everything that's part of the mental bath. What was common about those super achievers, and really anybody that had ever earned a car or become a sales director or a national in Mary Kay, was that they made sure every day that they had usually 10 or more classes on their books to be held all the time. They had strong affirmations that they could recite that were powerful and positive, and that they used consistently. They didn't just write an affirmation, they actually said it to themselves and out loud multiple times a day. They did self-education and were responsible for their own training. They didn't wait for their directors or their nationals to provide the training for them. They were resourceful and found it on their own and ingested it without anybody asking them to. And then they always hooked into other positive people. They were careful about their tribe, who they surrounded themselves with. So I knew that if all of those successful women I mentioned were doing bookings, affirmations, self-training, and hooking into powerful resources every day, that was the magic key. So I created the mental bath, the BATH acronym, to follow that. So think with me for a moment. If you were to commit to taking a mental bath for 30 days and you got your one booking a day. Now, some of you are going to want to take this further because your goals are higher, but for purposes of the mental bath, you only have to add one new booking a day. If you do more than that, that's great, but one a day. So if we added one a day in 30 days, how many appointments would you have put on your date book with a date and a time? Pretty simple, 30. 30 appointments on your date book in a 30-day period, right? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you did that? Had 30 appointments on your date book. Now, we all know that just like dentists and doctors and hairdressers and nail technicians, we are not always going to hold every appointment that we book. We cannot expect that to happen. You guys, it's not realistic. So, worst case scenario, if half of the appointments you put on your books with a mental bath were to hold, how many would you hold? What's half of 30? 15. So if you held 15 skincare classes in a month, how excited would you be for starters? I think we had one person report last month that she did a perfect 15. And that was Marcia Bond in my personal unit, held 15 skincare classes. Her sales were almost $5,000 last month, I believe. Her wholesale reorder was over $2,600, you guys. So she proved 15 appointments, you're going to sell somewhere probably between $3,000 and $5,000. And that's without even any customer reorders or holiday selling. So anyway, thank you, Marcia Bond, for proving that. But why are more people not holding 15, even if they're saying that they're full-time in Mary Kay? Simple answer, they're not getting one new booking every day. So you guys, it's called compound interest. Doing one little step every day for 30 days is going to take you to places you've never been. But let's talk about the money that could come from that. 15 appointments, because like we said, only half of them held, and maybe you'll have a better holding rate than half, but worst case scenario, half holds, you hold 15, you sell $200 average per class, which is very low. That's a very low class. If you have 6 adult non-Mary Kay users and 2 people buy Time-Wise Repair, 4 people buy nothing, that is still a $400 retail class, right? 2 Time-Wise Repair sets. So make sure you're getting 6 people to attend your classes, okay? And if you're not, you need to study coaching your classes. All right, back to this. 15 parties times 200 really low sales at every class, that's 3,000 retail. That would be 1,500 wholesale order from just your class sales in a calendar month. That would put you in the national court of sales with 40,000 or more retail for the year. And it all started with what? Booking one appointment a day for your mental bath. Okay, let's talk about the A, the T, and the H. The rest of the acronym. A stands for what? Affirmations. It is so important that when you talk to yourself, you say positive things. You guys, our minds are working at an unbelievable rate, 24 hours a day. Yes, even while we're sleeping. And do you know that 70% of the thoughts that pass through our subconscious mind every day are negative? That's right. The world is feeding us negative. The news is feeding us negative. It's just a fact of life. So if we are not counteracting the negativity that surrounds us on a daily basis, we're in trouble. So remember that 70% of the thoughts that automatically go through that subconscious brain of yours are negative. You've got to be conscientiously putting positive in there. That's why we ask you to watch videos like this. Listen to positive training recordings. Read positive books. Hang around positive people. All of that counteracts the negative, okay? And it's very, very important in order to be successful that you keep that brain of yours in a positive state. And it really is a choice, but only you can make that choice. And only you can actually look at this calendar every day and do each thing and highlight it off. So affirmations. A lot of people will say to me, Tammy, I don't have an affirmation written. I've never written one. Okay, I'm going to give you one to start using so it can count. Ready? I am in the process of becoming financially independent. End of affirmation. Are you in the process of becoming financially independent? If it's important to you, I bet you are. Okay, so, and you saying I am in the process helps your brain to believe it. If you say, I am a millionaire, most of your brains are going to say, no, you're not. I mean, you're going to get that automatic subconscious thought that that's not true, you're lying, because maybe you haven't made $1 million yet. But when you say, I'm in the process of becoming independently financially wealthy, or I am in the process of becoming a millionaire, that makes your brain happy, and you're like, that's right. And right now I'm going to get on the phone and make bookings because that will take me closer, right? So preface your affirmation with, I am in the process of. When I was losing my weight, I recently lost about 60 pounds. Every day I would say to myself, I am in the process of weighing my ideal weight for my body type. Okay, I'm in the process of weighing. I'm in the process of weighing the right weight for my body type. Okay, but every day I would tell myself I'm in the process. And if I went to eat something I knew I shouldn't be eating, I would look at it and I would say, Tammy, you're in the process of becoming is the most fit and healthy you've ever been. So that was another one. I'm in the process of becoming the most fit and healthy I've ever been. Okay, and you guys, it works. It works if you say it every day. So come up with an affirmation of something you're really passionate about reaching with your Mary Kay business. If you have committed to being a 4-quarter star this year, your affirmation really should be, I am in the process of nailing my star this quarter. I am in the process of nailing my star this quarter. Because right then your brain will think, okay, that's true. So what can I do right now to work toward my star? I can get on the phone and get a booking. I can call 5 customers and do customer service calls, right? So come up with your affirmation. Just keep it simple so you can start it today. All right. Training is the next step. I don't know if these are coming through backwards on you guys, but it says training. Okay. Training is 30 minutes of listening to something that is going to improve your Mary Kay skills. Now, depending on where you are in the career path, how long you've been in Mary Kay is going to determine what type of training you should select. If you don't have 10 classes on your date book right now, you probably need to study everything you can get your hands on about booking. Where do you find that information? You go to our website, nsdtammycrayk.com. You go to Mary Kay In Touch under all of the education tab. There's so much education, almost too much education sometimes, but pick things that you need to improve. So again, if you don't have 10 classes on your books, maybe you need to study booking. If you have classes on your books and you're consistent about keeping a full date book, but a lot of your appointments are postponing or rescheduling or canceling, or people aren't showing up, you need to study coaching. So get everything you can from our website, everything you can from In Touch on coaching. If your sales are not good at your appointments, you need to study closing the sale at your classes. You need to study customer service ideas and anything about selling the product, maybe even just product knowledge, so that when you're at your classes, just the words you're using to describe a product sells it, right? Okay. If you're not team building, if you haven't been adding team members to your team, you would want to study team building and recruiting. So pick topics and every day listen to 30 minutes of something. Now, on the night that you go to your unit meeting, that counts as your training. If you come to an event that we're doing, that counts as your training. All of you brilliant people who I want to kiss that are going to seminar, those days at seminar, that counts as your hotline and your training. Yes, every day at seminar, we're going to be able to cross off hotline and training because we're hooking into powerful resources and we are absolutely getting some great training, okay? So, anyway, that's what the BATH stands for. And I promise you that if you will do this for 30 consecutive days and not miss a single day, you will have built a very strong habit. And the success that will come from it will blow your mind. Again, I have to say, it's all about compounding interest on your activity, okay? So I'm excited to see who among you will take a picture of your mental bath calendar at the end of this month and send a copy of it to your sales director and to your national. That would be me. At the end of every single month this seminar year. And directors, I can't wait to get pictures of yours, because we know we can never expect our consultants to do something we are not willing to do ourselves, okay? And I will start posting mine. You guys, I've been taking a mental bath every single day since the day I invented it, okay? So go to our website, print off your copy of this mental bath calendar, and start today. Because you listened to this explanation of the mental bath, you already get to go in, take your highlighter, and cross off training for today. Okay, so get your calendar, put today's date on there, number it all the way through the next 30 days, and then start highlighting it off with your favorite colors. And I can't wait to see what happens. Many directors in our area will reward you with an amazing gift of her time when you've completed a mental bath. For my personal unit, anyone who completes a mental bath calendar and it is accompanied by a minimum of a $600 wholesale star order during that same calendar month earns an hour of my time for a private coaching session. Sometimes we do that over the phone. Sometimes we do it in person over a cup of coffee or a cupcake or something. And that's what I do with my unit. So ask your sales director, when I complete, not if I complete, but when I complete my mental bath this month, what will you do with me or for me, or ask her for a prize, whatever? Because when we get these back filled out, they're always accompanied with a $600 order, simply because of the 15 appointments that get held, right? So the $600 wholesale order is never a problem when you've held minimum of 15 appointments from doing it. But when we get these back, we have superstars on our hands that are not just talking the talk about the things they want to do and achieve. They're actually walking the walk, and their heads are staying clear, and the activity is producing the results. So who among you, post below here in the comments, who among you is committing to your mental bath for the rest of this month that we're currently in, and for the next 30 days. I can't wait to read your names and your commitments. We got through booking, we got through affirmations, we got through training. You're going to do 30 minutes of listening to your training every single day. And the good news about that is you can do it while you're exercising, you can do it while you're putting your makeup on, you can do it while you're doing your hair, you can do it while you're driving kids to and from school. Doesn't hurt them to listen to Positive Mary Kay training, right? Any number of things, while you're vacuuming, while you're dusting. Really, it's something you can do while you're doing other things that don't distract you from the learning, of course. So I always do mine when I do my hair and makeup, because it takes me at least 30 minutes. So I'm always ready to press play on some type of a recording. And then I always listen to the hotline, which is the final step. The H stands for hotline, and I listen to that as soon as I'm done listening to my 30 minutes of training. So I just dial into the $1 Million Messenger. And your directors have given you that number. You can find the information here on our Facebook page, but it's $1 Million directors whose mothers, a lot of their mothers were or are national sales directors. They're really some of the best trainers in our company. And every day they record a 5 to 10 minute awesome message. And the reason that's important in addition to your training is because the hotline is what's happening currently in our business. It's done daily. It's real time, okay? So right now they're talking about the beginning of the new seminar year, because I'm recording this in July of 19. Yeah, what year are we in? 2019 people. Hello, my brain. Okay, it's July. But anyway, it's current information. That's why the hotline sometimes differs from your training, because training could be on any topic and it could have been recorded 10 years ago, but it's still appropriate, where the hotline by those $1 Million Messengers is today. Now, many of your sales directors also record an awesome current hotline message for you every day based on what's going on in your unit. So it certainly wouldn't hurt you to call into both hotlines, right? Okay, so anyway, that's what hotline stands for, because I didn't get to talk about that in our previous recording. So booking, affirmation, training, and hotline. The last thing I wanted to say to you about the mental bath is this. It doesn't matter how busy you are, how part-time you are with Mary Kay, anybody and everybody has time to take a mental bath. Do you know why I know that? Is because it only takes 15 to 20 minutes a day to do the entire thing. It's not hard. It doesn't take much time out of your normal everyday life. Because if you think about it, 3 out of the 4 steps can be done while you're doing other things. The booking is the only thing that takes extra time, that requires you to be in a quiet, non-disturbed environment to stay focused for 15 or 20 minutes while you make calls and do text messaging to accomplish getting that one booking. Okay, now if you want to take it to 30 minutes or longer, you absolutely can based on how much time you have, but bare minimum, if you can carve out, and really, if we're being honest, who can't find 15 minutes a day, okay, to do that? I really believe that if you're asking with a passionate heart for people to try the product, you can dial probably 8 or 10 phone numbers in a 15-minute period, and one of those people are going to say yes, okay? So as you do each one of these steps, you're taking your highlighter pen and you're marking it off, marking it off, marking it off. Then the next day, you go to the next day, mark it off, mark it off, mark it off, okay? Let's say one day you just didn't have time to get your bookings, but tomorrow you got 2 bookings. Go ahead and go back to yesterday and cross it off, but don't let yourself get more than 1 day behind. That's when everything starts to fall apart. We're trying to create a healthy habit here, and habits only happen, it's been proven now, that it takes 66 days to get rid of an old habit and replace it with a good habit, okay? So try to be as consistent as you can. Some of you don't work Sundays, and so you would want to get 2 bookings on Saturday, maybe listen to an hour's worth of training one of the days to make up for it. You just don't want to skip marking it off, okay? So you can be a little bit more creative with it. So anyway, the A, the T, and the H can be done while you're doing other things. This morning, while I was doing my hair and makeup, I said my affirmation out loud. I said it again during my lunch, and I'll say it before I go to bed. So that way, no matter what happens during my day that's frustrating or, just disturbing, I keep picking myself back up and dusting myself off with the affirmation. I can have a horrible situation between breakfast and lunch, but if at lunch I recite my affirmation to myself, it brings my head back in the right place and I can continue. Okay? Then, right before I go to bed, I say my affirmation again, remind myself of what it is I'm striving to do and have and become, okay? And I sleep better. And I wake up in the morning nice and refreshed, remembering what my purpose and passion is. So morning, noon, and night, okay? But you can do that while you're doing other things. If I'm loading the dishwasher, I can say my affirmation. If I'm driving to the grocery store, I can say my affirmation. If I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth at night, I can think my affirmation out loud, okay? So if the affirmation, the training, and the hotline can be done while you're doing your everyday life, right? You can. Then the only thing that takes time is that booking. So if you'll just carve out 15 to 20 minutes a day, I promise you, you will see an absolute revolution in your business. And again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to watch for the people that send me a copy, a picture of their completed mental bath calendar at the end of this current calendar month, whenever you're watching this video, because we're going to store this for time and all eternity so everybody can understand what the mental bath is. So get in the habit of doing this every single month. And even if you're just putting 15 minutes a day towards your Mary Kay business, your business is going to have an explosion. I promise you, if you don't believe that it can be that transformational, then prove me wrong and just do one for 30 days and we will talk. Okay? And then don't forget to ask your director, when I do this mental bath calendar that I just heard Tammy explain, what prize will you give me? I think the most priceless prize your director could ever give you would be her time, because time is so precious and so valuable. And if you can sit with a mentor, either over the phone or in person for an hour and talk about a business plan for you going forward, what prize could ever be that valuable? I know that's what I give my personal unit, is when they I'll say it again because I said it on the last video, but I want to reiterate it. Completed mental bath must be accompanied that same calendar month by a minimum of a $600 wholesale order. Usually they're a lot higher than that, because if you sold 1,500 or 2,000 or 3,000, your wholesale rate order is at least 50% of that. So minimum is a 600. They get an hour of my time, whether that be over the phone coaching call, in-person meeting, if I happen to be in their city, or next time I come to their city, or if I do live right there in their city. So one way or the other, we schedule an hour to discuss anything and everything. I've even gone and done a recruiting interview with them. I have gone and showed up at their skincare class and done kind of a surprise prize patrol where I bring prizes and I talk to the guests and talk a little bit about our opportunity. So the options are endless, really, to the type of prizes that you could ask of your director. But the reason we're willing to give our time and great prizes for this is because we know that we're working with a superstar when she completes a mental bath. So there you have it, you guys. Thanks for listening to part 2. Bye for now. I'll be watching for your mental bath calendars. Peace out.